Hi and welcome to my Flosstube. This is Flosstube number 51 and today is Sunday the 19th of July 2026. My name is Angela, as known as Stitching Brit, because I am British and I live in the UK. So I am sharing my weekly cross stitch, what I have stitched on. I do have monthly plans, which is where I have a brand new start. I'm having a year of new starts. I started this in July, so I start a brand new project. I will be starting a brand new project every single month on the 1st of every month, and this month's has already been started. And I will spin a wheel for another one of my current projects to have 2,000 stitches in, and then each week I am spinning the wheel for more 500 stitch projects. On top of that, I restarted World Travel Bookshelf by Amy Stewart. I also got two other starts that aren't in the year of new starts. They will be started this month. Those three are going to become kind of secondary pieces that I stitch on either throughout the week or weekends. So from here on in, I'm only actually going to be pulling 4 wheel spins for 500 stitches in the week, and so that I can work on one of those 3 projects as like a secondary piece after my monthly plans. And I would just switch out those 3 projects. So I also had a bit of a traumatic week. I found my neighbour after she'd had a medical emergency, and it was really quite traumatic for me, for my mum, who has been her neighbour for like 40 plus years. They are very good friends, and yeah, so that impacted my stitching. Obviously I wanted to make sure my mum was okay. So yeah, I didn't get as much stitching done as I would have wanted to this week. But obviously the priority was my mum. So I am hoping for a bit of a calmer stitching week this week coming. So let's get into the WIPs that I did work on. So I did start with April Fairy. This is by Hannah Lynn, and this is what it will look like when it's finished. I got exactly 500 stitches. Oh, picked up 2 by mistake. Yeah, I did exactly 500 stitches. I will put a before picture in as well, and this is what it looks like now. And I also had a row finish. So as you'll see, this was stitched using the Royal Rose method of stitching. I don't want to be doing that method anymore. I found, personally for me, I found it was quite slow, and I just wanted something that was a bit quicker. So I had part threads here, but so I just finished the last bit of the column here to get most of the 500 stitches, and then there were some part threads over here, so I just stitched those in around there, and that made up my 500 stitches. You'll see this week that I had quite a few projects that I had done Royal Rose on, and I think my plan is to stitch out the part threads wherever it leads, even if it goes past the 3rd row, because I'm stitching this, as I say, like Anne, Max Colour Stitcher and Stitching Mummy, with the typewriter method, picking a symbol in a 10 by 10 square, stitching it out that along that row, and then down 1 row, and then if it goes any further than that, parking it in the 3rd row. But I think just while I've got all these part threads, I think it might just be easier just to stitch them all out and then start that typewriter method on these. So this is what I have done. Like I say, I got 500 stitches, and that then took me to 5,595 stitches out of 60, oh, how many have I got? Well, anyway, I did 5,905 stitches. So it took me from 7.19% to 789%. So yeah, really pleased. I love that one. It's just so pretty, so full of colour. So then the next one that I started was, not that I started, the one that I spun and carried on, was Story Keep, Life is an Open Book, London. This is by Amy Stewart. So this Story Keep, for anybody who doesn't know, is a version of or a small chunk of a bigger chart. So this is from Life is an Open Book, London, and the Story Keep is a section of it. So this is what it will look like when it's finished. And I will pop a picture up here of what it looked like before. So again, similar to April Fairy, I started stitching in the parked threads. So I had got quite a few parked threads. So most of the 500 stitches that I got done on this was basically done in the blue here. And I'm just going to carry on along and stitch in those parked threads next time I work on it. But I just love this piece, and one of the reasons why I stopped Royal Rose is because of this here. I feel like I was starting to see lines, like grid line, not grid lines, you know, like lines when you stitch like in columns. That's one of the reasons why I stopped. So yeah, really pleased with this one. And yeah, so I haven't been telling you what each one is stitched on. So April Fairy is stitched on 20 count 2/1, which is a pink fabric. In fact, somebody commented, I think it was Holly, from, what's Holly's channel name? Holly the Addicted Stitcher. She's absolutely fabulous. She's lives in America. She's moved from the UK, now lives in America, has horses, and she's got a lovely goat. I won't say any more about the goat because it's just so lovely seeing all the pictures of her goat. It's quite funny. And she's got some amazing projects. She's also stitching on Life is an Open Book, the Story Keep version, Life is an Open Book Paris, which I have actually finished. But she was asking me, how do you stitch on 20 count 2/1? And now that I've started on 22 count and 25 count, I really don't know. But so yes, that was April Fairy on 20 count. This one is on 18 count 2/1, and the 18 count, the reason why I started on that is because of the Paris one. I finished that on 18 count, so I wanted to carry like the series on 18 count. So I did exactly 500 stitches. It's exactly at 7,700, which I'm really pleased about, because I really want to get to like the 1,000 or the 500 on every project. At some point I will start to get them or do different numbers than the 500 just to get them to that 1,000 or 500. But this one was already like that because of the Royal Rose method. And I have got, well, I went from 13.52% to 14.46%. So really pleased with that. Almost at the 15%. So I think next time that it gets spun, I will be at 15%. So the next one was Ornament Healing Rose, and this is by Carol Cavaleris. This is my oldest full coverage project. I should say, for anybody that is new, I only stitch on full coverages now. So this is what this one will look like. Sorry about the glare. When it is finished, it's a beautiful piece. And this was the piece that was pulled out on the wheel spin for 2,000 stitches. So and it was also pulled out again last week for the 500 stitches. So altogether 2,500 stitches at the moment, unless it gets pulled out again. So I will put a picture of where it was. I haven't taken it out of the Nudge frame because I've just been stitching at the top. And this is where I'm up to. So this one is also stitched on 18 count 2/1. Like I say, this is my oldest full coverage piece. So I started this in 2020. All I knew was 18 count. I didn't know anything else, and that was the year I'd started full coverage. I didn't know anything about full coverage before that. So yeah, So I did some of these tans and browns, but I just got fed up of that colour. So I moved over here to do some more blue. So yeah, really enjoying this. It's I'm not doing it in any method, this piece. I'm just literally picking a symbol and stitching that thread out, because it's kind of like a bit like block stitching in a way. You can just pick a symbol and just stitch that thread out, and then pick another one and another one and another one. That's why I really like it. So yeah, it's looking really quite effective, and at the end of the month, when I have finished all of my stitches on it, I will take it out of the nudge frame and show you what it looks like. So I've done 716 stitches on it this week, which included the 500, and I'm at, I went from 25.42%, because it was last week when I reached the 25% mark. I'm now at 26.88%. So that was that one. And then I worked on, it was a bit of an Amy Stewart week as well. I worked on Story Keep, Life is an Open Book, New York. And that is, can't get it without the glare. That is what it will look like when it is finished. And I was basically stitching up here in like the black and the fireworks. So I'll pop a picture of where it was, and this is where it is now. And again, I was doing it in the Royal Rose method. I am changing that now, so I just needed to stitch out the part threads. Gosh, my brain. I cannot tell you, so I basically did this area here. I cannot tell you how much confetti that was. It was like literally 1 or 2 stitches each thread. But I guess it's to get that effect of the firework, isn't it? So I think this is just here, I think, is like the blue around the light on the Statue of Liberty. So I think possibly in the next row down, I might get started on the Statue of Liberty. But yeah, I just love these Story Keep pieces, and eventually when I finished these two, the London one and this New York one, I'm going to frame it all 3 together with the Paris one, and hang them up. I've got an idea of where I want to hang them up, but yeah, so that's this one. Really enjoying this one as well, even though the confetti was just wild. So where was I? So I did exactly 500 stitches, and I have gone from 12.10% to 13.09%. So again, really pleased. So the only one I didn't get to because of what happened in the week was this one. I did do a wheel spin for Beach Bliss, which is another Amy Stewart piece, so that was the only one that I didn't get to. So I have put that one back on the wheel. And last week I spoke about Mini Deer Creek. I really wasn't enjoying the fabric at all. I think I only did 38 stitches. So I've now got the fabric for that. It's all ready. I always like to grid my fabric and then serge the edges before I get started. So that's ready. So that one is back on the wheel as well. So let's spin for my 4 projects that I'm going to do 500 stitches on. I think that's how I'm going to do it this from moving forward. Just spin 4, and then I have got I will show you, I have got my World Travel bookshelf and 2 other new pieces I will get started this month as well, which are going to be like, if I've caught up with my stitching and I want to stitch on something else, then I will stitch on that one of those 3. Hope that makes sense. So let's go to the wheel spin, and I'm almost at getting a blackout on that. So let's see the first one. Oh, I can't press it. There we go. Right, first one is mini virus detected. So just make a note of that. Okay, and the next one is heart melt. And the next one so the Beach Bliss one is back out this week, which is brilliant, because I really do like stitching on that one as well. And then the last one which is Quick Stitch Spirit of Winter Robin. So I am going to get all of those pieces and I will come back and show you what they look like. Okay, I'm back with my projects. So the first one was Mini Virus Detected. That one was by Randall Spangler, and this is what it will look like. This is my second oldest project, and this one is where it is at. I'm probably going to take it out of this because I'm not a fan of stitching on these anymore. But this was the one where I had a massive pattern keeper issue. I was doing some stitching and pattern keeper went dead. So I'd lost all my progress. So I need to just make sure I have captured all the stitches before I start this. So I will do that this afternoon and just make sure I've captured most of it. I think I have already, but I will just go through so I know what percentage I'm at, but that is where I'm starting. Okay, so let me just, okay, sorry about that. My mum was chatting to the neighbour, and with all the windows open, it just sounded like she was really shouting, so apologies if you heard her. So the next one was Heart Melt, and this one, let me just make sure I know who it is by. This one's by Donna Gausinger. So this is what the full chart actually looks like. However, I cropped mine to just basically having the heart and the penguins, so that's what mine will look like at the end. And this, I will tell you next week all of the fabric and stitches and percentages and everything like that, but I just wanted to show or have a starting picture. This is where it is at. So I've mainly just done the left hand corner, so I'm basically just going to pick it up from here and go all the way to the end. That and I will definitely get 500. Well, I probably won't reach the end there. I will, yeah, it will take more than one rotation to do that. This is, I believe, where one of the penguins starts, but I will get to the penguin. I obviously hadn't parked in any of this, so I can continue this piece using the typewriter method. So yeah, that was that one. And then the next one was the beach one, which I didn't do last week. I have shown you what that one will look like already. This is where I'm starting from. So I've literally, these are the part threads from changing it to the typewriter method, so I'm okay with those. So I'm just going to basically finish what I can across that top row. And then the final 500 stitch piece was Quick Spirit Winter Robin, and this is by Ciro Marchetti. Let me show you what it will look like. It will look like this. And this is, oh, thread this is where I am up to. Again, I was converting this to Royal Rose, so I will take this back to the typewriter method. As you can see, I've done lots of methods. I did the diagonal stitching, and now I'm just going to do the typewriter method moving forward. So that is the 500 stitch projects I'm going to work on. I'm still going to work on Ornament Healing Rose, and then I will be working today, getting to get my 1,000 stitches today on my new start for July, which is All Seasons Flower Shop Max Colour. And this is what this one will look like. This is by Lars Stewart. And I haven't done any this week, so I really need to catch up. So again, I'm starting this in the typewriter method. So this is where I will be starting from. And so far I have done 1,010 stitches. And I still need to do 3,990 before the end of the month. So they are the projects I have worked on, the projects I'm going to work on. I haven't had any haul this week, and life update, as I said, most of the week was kind of, my neighbour, dealing with that emergency, which happened on Tuesday, and on Thursday my mum went for a pre-op for her hip operation. So we are really hoping that this is going to be the final pre-op and that she can get her operation. So I will be chasing that and doing what I can for that this week. So I hope everybody has had a great stitching week. I just feel like I've sped through that. So I hope you enjoy it. Please, like I say, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. And if you have any comments about anything, then please put them below. And I will see you next week. Happy stitching.